Welcome, kids, to the hexagonal tube. It's Mark Miller here. Rory's on the phone with me.
I am indeed. How are you doing, Mark? You we good?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Let's jump right into it, kids.
Fair enough.
So look at that. Did I really lose connections already?
Surely not already.
Yeah, looks like I have lost some of it. All right, I'm going to restart. I'm just looking at the delay here. I'm going to shut down my D&D app and restart it here. What you're looking at is actually two different computers. The one on the left is the machine running the early access of TaleSpire, and the one on the right is my machine that I'm working on. I had to restart the D&D app, and once that gets up here, my button should work, and I should be able to switch between looking only at that one or only at this one, or both shared together, which I think is key to the show moving quickly. Let's see if we can make that work.
Yep, definitely going to help.
There we go. Buttons are working now, just like I want them to be. Let's hide the other nameplates. So we're hacking into TaleSpire today. That's what we're doing. And I tell you, it's deja vu for me.
Laying siege.
What'd you say, Roy?
Laying siege at the gates.
Yeah. It's deja vu for me because I don't know I want to say about 20 years ago. I'm not going to do the math, but about 20 years ago, I created Code Rush for Delphi, and it was the same kind of thing. Once I realized I could get inside and start seeing things in that world, the world that somebody else, another team of developers built, I started realizing the things I could do, right? What kinds of things I could do, the tricks I could pull off, that sort of thing. And then the same thing happened in 2005 when, actually 2003, when we started porting Code Rush over to Visual Studio. So the same environment. Oh, we're hooked into Visual Studio. What's going on? What can we do? And as a result of, mostly collaborative relationship with the Visual Studio team, we were able to actually drag and drop images into source code, which is super cool, right? You have that cooperative relationship with that team.
Oh, yeah.
Now, TaleSpire team has not yet replied to any of my emails. I'm not saying they're uncooperative. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're probably busy and it's okay. But
I think we should choose to imagine that they're just incredibly popular and haven't been able to see your email with the floods of other people that are, congratulating them on awesome stuff, right?
I'm sure it's all along those lines. It's everything. There's nothing bad in what I'm saying. But as a result, we're kind of on our own, like a lot. The first show we did, what do you want to say, Rory? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I agree entirely. It's hard to keep track, though, of how much we've done on screen and how much we've done off screen.
We've done a couple things off screen.
In terms of sort of this area.
Right. One of the couple things we did off screen were related to getting things to work across computers, and there was going to be a whole bunch of stuff showing up, and I didn't want it that was potentially secrets, and I was like, I don't want that to show up in front of a recorded live audience. So, but the first show we did, we essentially, hit what appeared to be dead ends. We were taking the existing source that we thought would work, and it didn't work because of a lot of changes that happened in the early access release. So going from beta to early access, a lot of changes. Then the next show, we started, hacking and cutting away at stuff that wasn't working just to try to get something working. We kind of got close to it. By the end of the show, I think Rory had to leave before the end of the show. Rory has helped me outside of this, one in terms of connecting to the, getting the machines to work more cooperatively together. And I forget there was something else I think that we did that I don't remember what that was. Have you any insight on that? The things we've done this
I'm not sure I've been of any help at all. I've just been along for the ride.
Yeah, no. Anyway, we disagree on that. But today, so here's the deal. Here's what I've done actually, and I've done one thing that was. I'll tell you let me do the history of what got me here. Yeah, and I worked on it over the weekend too, so I didn't do any show. Good. Over the weekend. Let's see if I can get an open recent here. Don't see it in the list. Let's go open the file. So one of the things that I did, let's see, it's going to be here, here, R&D, TaleSpire, this guy. So one of the things I did is once I was in, I wrote some code to reflect on all the Bouncy Rock DLLs that were loaded. So I basically said, all the assemblies that you're out there, just give them to me, and if you start with Bouncy Rock, I'm interested. Then I went in and grabbed every class, and inside every class, I looked to see, to grab all the static methods in it. That's what I did. I'm pretty sure these are only static, but I could be wrong. Because that's super interesting from an API's perspective. You have to remember there's no published API for this, right? We're just in, but we got reflection. So I built this. Then I started looking for things because things had been renamed, right? I'm looking for names and things that match. So that's step one. Step one was building this file. It's essentially like pseudo C# is what it is. Basically, it goes, here's the assembly, here's the class, here's the members of the class. If I can declare...
Kind of reflecting and building your own wiki of useful information.
Kind of, yeah. But I'm not putting... Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's like, well, there's so much that could be in there. So you've specifically chosen the Bouncy Rock DLLs and specifically chosen static classes and methods because this is immediately of interest to you.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can abstract that. And the great part about that is, theoretically, if they release another version, we can run it again, compare the two files, and go, ooh, that's what's changed.
You're right. We totally could do.
Nice and easy.
No, those are all good points. The other thing I was going to say is I didn't put too much work into it, right? I wanted to just quickly get the data I needed to get. So, for example, here you can see that this is a method. And I'm using the syntax of a method when I create it. So I'm using reflection to find out what the method returns, that sort of thing. I'm putting parameters here if there are any. You'll see those like here, for example, prefer Havoc physics, right? So I can really get a sense of what's going on. And then I think when I was looking at this yesterday, what was I looking at? Oh, I was looking for this. I was typed in set time, I think. Or I just looked for time, maybe. Time, let's do a regular expression day. What's going on here? Is that whole word?
Was it something to do with the sun or something?
Yeah. So that's like, I think it's set. There it is, set time of day. I had whole word on there, didn't see that. And I found that. And I realized, oh my gosh, this is so cool because when I call it this in TaleSpire, it moves the sun. And we got a clock right over here. This is a D&D game clock, and we have the ability to advance the clock by 8 hours, for example, for a long rest, right? For example. Well, when that happens, wouldn't that be cool to see the sun move and set? It would be...
Oh, so very cool, yes.
It would be very cool, right? TaleSpire...
Well, we've seen how graphical effects can really add to the feel of the environment. And so that sun goes down and suddenly it's twilight or whatever. That's going to set the mood for everything.
I agree. I also was looking at... Because I'm in... Now, here's the thing. Already I've got now the ability to find the characters where they are on the board. I've got a unique ID, a GUID, and their location, which is huge from the standpoint of spellcasting rules. If I cast a spell, or we're using weapons as well. Hey, by the way, Rory, sometimes you're sounding like a little bit mechanically slurry, like slow, and I think it's maybe your upload speed. Check that app, and those kids, if they're whatever those kids are uploading, you stop that. See if you got any control over that. If you want high quality, if you want to do drunk T2 Terminator. That's also totally cool. It's in and out. It's barely noticeable. I'll say that too as well. So I was looking at special effects, and I came upon. Let's see if I can find this here. Now let's see. Let's look for a get star effect. Get effect volume. Is that it? What is it? I've got 3 of these, so it's not effects. forget how. I'm not remembering. I apologize for that. I'll find it another way. I can go over to this code over here. And is it in the Explorer or is it in... I don't... Well, maybe it is. Here we go. All right, so here you can see some of the code I wrote here. Show effects. No, not show effects. It's up here. Button effects list. Okay, here we go. Now, why isn't it finding that field? Oh, is it because it's an instance field? That's why it's not finding it. Okay, hold on. Effect manager. Effect manager. Let's find that. Here we go. So effect manager. Unfortunately, it's kind of small. Okay, so this is the class, and it's public. And then there's this internal effect manager.effect, at least what it says. It says it's internal. It's a nested type of effect manager. It says it's internal, but I can get to it. No problem, right there. And it's got play effect, play relation effect, and hire effect, which I think kind of means borrow, and create something. I'm not exactly sure about that. So I started looking at this, and I found a way. Notice here this internal field, using reflection to grab effects. I decompiled it essentially, looked at it in the decompiler, and I found effects, which is this list. And then I'm able to go in and iterate through the list of known effects. Well, guess what, kids? TaleSpire ships exactly 2 known effects. Only 2. They basically did a proof of concept.
Kind of small.
Yeah. Implementation on it. I'm almost thinking, let me show you the effects, as long as we're talking about this. Let's go start up TaleSpire. I'm going to start up TaleSpire local. Ooh, it's not letting me do it locally because I've already got it on the other machine. Let me stop it on the other machine. Is that the right way to do it? Yeah, I think that's going to be the right way to do it. I'm going to stop it on the other machine, and we'll start it locally here on this machine. And that's starting up now. And it's on this monitor. Let's bring it up to that monitor. By the way, over the weekend, Rory, I think I told you this when we talked yesterday, but over the weekend, I discovered a number of kind of quirky traits about hooking in.
Maybe not.
Oh, there you are, buddy. I was talking, I think, for a while before I realized you were gone. And
you froze on my screen.
Yeah, totally lost internet. It was out and came back. Hopefully, all right. I think now the list isn't populating here, so I think I'm going to need to restart. That should have come in a second. Try one more time to play it. Here comes TaleSpire.
So last thing you were saying, I think before I lost you, was that you weren't able to use WPF effectively within, was it a plugin? Effectively, you weren't able to break in from within there.
Yeah, that's right. WPF did not work as an option. The reason why is it couldn't load presentation. When I copied presentation in there, it was like, sorry, I can't load something else in presentation, but guess who's not going to tell you? Which meant my only way of solving that was to go bring up the Fusion log, and guess who hates the Fusion log?
Everybody?
Well, it's me. I hate the Fusion log. I'm not happy with that. All right, here's the deal. Also, I couldn't create my Form Explorer when we were first starting up, right? So when I'm first loading in that loading screen, I can't build this here. If I build this here, TaleSpire gets into this kind of crazy, and I should also say I have a little bit of information. I don't have a solid amount of information on these conclusions I'm reaching, right? Basically what's happening is I'm trying something, I'm hitting a dead end, try something else, keep positioning, suddenly something works. So for whatever reason, I hit a dead end, which is, the dead end was that hourglass at the bottom, you know, of TaleSpire when it starts up, never went away after minutes when I tried to create my Form Explorer at the very beginning. Second thing I did, by the way, so we'll get back to, I'm going to get back to effects in a second, but let me show you the second thing that I did. Second thing I did is I searched for the word event with the space before it and the space after. 72 events in TaleSpire. And I hooked about 68 of them is what I did. And this was the second major breakthrough.
Wow.
Yeah. It's in here. So here's all the code. Well, let's see if I'm right. From line 62 to line 126. So it looks about 64. Hooking 64 events. A couple events I could not hook, or they were clearly not what I was interested in. Those events, as they occur, are showing up over here on the right in this events column. What's cool about this...
Okay.
I know, Rory's like, okay, Mark, sometimes you're not so bad.
Yeah.
This is actually looking like we can do something. And so what I did is this. I started documenting what I was seeing. When I move a unique character, I get this event that's being triggered. And then afterwards, I get like also line of sight updated call and on campaign uniques change again. So there, I can see what's happening here. After moving a normal creature, I get another sequence of events, right? So what I'm putting together is a document that's teaching me how to respond and when to respond at the right times. That sort of thing, excuse me. So that's kind of what I'm building there. So that's kind of what I've learned with the events. Now, with back to effects, click this button, it's going to list all the effects. There they are, Circle Dust and Magic Missile. Are you kidding me? Circle Dust and Magic Missile, that's all you're giving me for spell effects? Come on, TaleSpire. So,
I guess that's what we mean by early access, right?
Yeah. So, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow, Rory?
You're going to fill in all the blanks for them, right?
We're going to try and fill in the blanks. That's what we're going to try and do. But there's a big missing piece to this that makes things a little bit difficult.
Challenging?
Yeah, challenging. And I'll talk about it maybe in a little bit. But there's a missing piece that that we can't figure out purely from code. And I don't know enough about Unity to know the answer yet on that missing piece. But let me show you what's cool. If I copy this to the clipboard and I place it here in the effect, and by the way, I was super ambitious. I thought there'd be a whole list, so I put a text box here so I could play the effect to whichever one I want, but guess what? Only two. So anyway, let's play the effect. Watch right in here. Watch right in there when I play the effect. See that? Just a little bit. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit there.
Yeah.
You might see some, there might be some compression going on here. Let's do this too.
That's the same kind of dust as when the pieces get dragged and dropped, isn't that?
Yeah, let me do this though. I'm going to grab the top layer and I'm going to start pulling stuff off there. It might be happening a little below screen, so we might be not seeing it. Let's do it again. See it there? You can see it nicely. There it is.
Yeah,
got
that's
it?
much clearer.
So it's just circle dust.
Yep.
Guess what spell I'm going to use that for, Rory?
But it's us having a direct effect on the game. That's good.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. You're right. Also, check it out.
Power.
Yeah, check out the time over here. So time comes in, and this is back to my docs right here. So set time of day takes a normalized time. Guess what that is? Well, nobody knows because there's no documentation. So I had to experiment before I realized normalized time went between 0 and 1, and it's essentially incrementing by 1/24th. You know, every hour is 1/24th of 1. And so if we want to set it to, like, for example, 3 p.m., we just take that right there and we pop it in here. We say set time. Let me go get this in so we can see it. And I click that, and now it's just set it. Well, that didn't really seem to change very much. Let's set it to
It was brighter.
6 a.m., I think. There you go. So you can kind of see kind of what's going on. If we move back a bit, there you go. So let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. Let's try 3 p.m. again with more on screen. There you go. So you can see what's going on and see the shadows right there. 3M would be about, what is it? What is 3 a.m.? I'm sorry, not 3 a.m. I went 9 a.m. 0.625. So 0.625. Set the time. Whoops. Let's get back so you can see it. So watch the shadow change. See it? So I'm actually really looking forward to the shadow change when this thing rolls forward. That I think is going to be cool. We're just going to go. that might be what we get done today. Tomorrow, I want to go after these guys like crazy. Because I'm like, so circle dust, play effect. There are two different kinds of effects here. If I grab Magic Missile and try to paste it in here and choose play effect, nothing happens. Because Magic Missile is an effect that connects 2 points. And play effect says play at this location.
Supply the other point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I have a show relation effect button here. Watch this. So see that?
Ooh.
It's not bad. It's a particle.
Very nice.
It's a particle, right? And so, and it's all the path it chooses is random each time. It does essentially creates a Bezier path from point A to point B.
Okay.
I've tried to change this color by getting into it, and it's not changing. And it's part of this missing piece that I think we have to do. Watch this, by the way. Watch what happens when I click it rapidly. Isn't that sweet?
Ooh.
Did you see them all shoot
This is
out?
good.
Did you get good resolution on
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
So that's cool for like Magic Missile, right? It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to, improve the situation. So anyway, that's where we are. I'm going to close this down, and talk about what we're going to do today. Maybe I should talk about the missing piece. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about going into the missing piece. I have Unity Hub up. Let's go explore this. Actually, I'm super interested in this. I want to know what the heck's going on with Unity and how this does this. So the missing piece is this. So if I drop something into my project, I had a particle effect to it. A lot of the data for the particle effect is stored somewhere other than the file. And what we need to do is find that data. It could be as simple as a get component call. It might be that simple. That might be all I need to do. That's something I can do in Unity. But let's look at this. Let's say let's create a new project. I think that's the latest version I've got installed. 3D, and we're going to call this. What are we going to call this? Dropbox. Let's go into. Might as well put it here. And we'll do R&D and TaleSpire, and maybe we can create a new folder in here. We'll call this Unity Resources. That. We'll put that. That'll be our folder. We're going to call this our resource test. And the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to create a particle effect and try to then change the particle effect using only code and only code, and see what we have to do that. Let's create it, and also kind of maybe investigate. Well, at the very least, we'll create it. Maybe we won't spend too much time investigating. We'll see. But that's kind of on my list. Meanwhile, while that's starting up, Unity's loading, I want to start up PowerPoint. Let me load 100 apps at the same time. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. What my goals are for today. So TaleSpire, hack, goals. What's my goals there? And goal number 1 is, well, I'll just write them down here. Goals. TaleSpire hack. Let's do this. We'll probably talk about more things than just goals here. So goals. I want communication across machines.
Yes.
Across both machines. Basically, Rory, I don't think I wrote any code after we hung up yesterday. So we're basically left off, I think, where we were. So I need to get, that means I need to get on my, in my plugin, I need my plugin running on the, we'll call it the TS machine. It needs to be able to, we're going to use sockets, and it needs to be able to receive a detailed command. Now, there's already sample code that has a very simple structure, which is basically it's a command name. Okay, let's put it down here. Currently, we have existing simple sample, and it consists of a command name followed by optional string parameters, and I think they're separated by a space. I don't know, maybe separated by maybe a space, I think, as I recall, the sample code. And then the return, though, I want to receive detailed data back. And this is going to be JSON, flat out, no other options. I think I want this to be JSON too. I think, or maybe JSON as well. Or we can optionally send over like a JSON. The data should be JSON. I think though, yeah, the way I want it is I want a command name, and I want the JSON. That's what I think I want. Command name and the JSON as the parameters. That's kind of what we're looking at right there. So goals, communication across both machines, and then as a proof that the communication works, hook it up to the clock advance. And let's watch the sun move. All right. So real quickly, let's jump over to Unity. Where are you, Unity? New version. We're gonna skip the new version for now, kids. So we're up here. I got what is it? Effects. Create a particle system. So we create a particle system. Nice. I've got a particle system out here. I have actually no code at this point. What's interesting about this, so look at this. Where can I show it to you? Where is it? Hold on. Oh, I know where it is. So by the way, those two effects, I decompiled them. Okay? One is called the VFX missile, and I added the word decompile so I knew that it was mine. The other one's called the particle emitter visual effect. Okay?
Okay.
Particle emitter visual effect has got this private field called psystem here. There's also notice this tag serialized field, right? Which is kind of interesting because I don't actually know what that does, but I've noticed it. Let's see if that's a Unity thing. Attribute. At first I thought it wasn't, but then now I'm wondering if it is. Ah. Aha.
So is that aiding with saving state for like game saves and things like that?
Well, basically, if it's public, it'll serialize it. Hold on, let's continue to read here a second. I'm a good slow reader, Rory, so you're probably ahead of me anyway. Yeah, it's for not so much game state, I think, but it's as design state is generally in this space. So when we save it, in other words, if we were to create something like this as a script system, let's do this actually. Let's freaking take this guy.
Oh, I see what you mean. So this is a thing you can use in your scene, in your Unity scene, in your world, and then, as you say, at design time, you move it around, you save it, you put it here, you move a copy of it over there. This is to acknowledge that an internal field, the private field, is something that needs its state saved, so that when we come back to this and make further changes, it will have suitable state.
Yes. When we close the game and open it back up again, and when we start the game. So here, cool, we've just created this particle script, descends from mono behavior. Now let's compare that with the other class. It descends from visual effect. Let's go look at visual effect. Shoot, I don't have visual effect. All right, hold on a second. Let's open up Reflector here and go get visual effect and get this on here. Take a look at that. There it is right there. So that descends from factory item behavior, which descends from mono behavior. Okay. So there's a couple, they've added their own stuff here, their things. The cool thing is these classes are not sealed, which means I can create my own descendant, right? This particle emitter visual effect is pretty simple. The VX missile is more complex. it has code that calculates Bezier points, for example, right? So it can get that kind of random kind of curvy thing going on. So some very cool stuff is happening here. Let's see. I wanted to go over here, and I wanted to basically, I'll just take all of this code. Oh, it's got, these are all overrides. Okay, gotcha. I don't need any of the overrides really. What I can do is do this instead, and everything should just work. Right. Now look at this. See this on setup right here?
Mm-hmm.
So they're using a call to...
Oh, I see. It's doing the get component.
Yes.
Yeah.
And get component basically gets the first component that matches this type that's assigned to this object that I basically have. So what that means, I think...
Okay.
Let's see if I can duplicate that. I'm not sure. Can I add a component here to it? Why is it not updating my changes? Did I not save? That's why. So save, back over here. Okay, so now can I add the component? It's private, which now I'm wondering if I can do it. It looks like maybe I cannot, but I have to make it public. So isn't that weird? So if we change this to public and we get rid of serialized field for a second, come back over here, now we should see a place for me to connect. No. Oh, because I have to create a new object. Hold on. Create an empty object.
Is this the script, and then you have to instance it, and now you can access its properties and so
there
forth?
It is right there. Now the question is, if this is private and serializable, let me undo that. Will it still let me attach it? It will. Sweet. So that's how they're doing it. So they basically got a game object out there. They've attached this to it like that, I think, right? Or they may have attached it somewhere else as well. They may not have done the attachment. What I want to do next is I want to look at, let's delete all of that. Let's go grab the VFX missile. Because here, this is the part that's killing me. Because I've got two different particle systems. I think I need to find them. If I'm going to create my own descendant of this, I need to be able to initialize these correctly, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well,
maybe I can do it only
just by the names of those, is it not the case that there's a missile, it goes from A to B, and whilst it is going, there's a trailing particle system, the drizzle, sort of offshoots as it's moving, and then finally there's the impact, the second effect that happens as it hits the target.
Exactly. I think that's exactly correct. This is what I think that is. There's also a transform out there called visual. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Animation curve. I don't know what that is. So you can see what's going on here, right? There's a number of things if I want to be able to do this. This is a maybe tomorrow and next week kind of thing. But that's what I'm looking at. We're not going to have to spend too much more time in that, but I'm basically interested in where can I find this? Where can I change it? Because I really need to see it. The problem is when I tried to change its color, it didn't work. And there are several ways to specify the color using particle systems, so I kind of have to explore those, I think. I don't know, that's like for tomorrow, I think. All right, for now, so back over. Okay. So these, by the way, are compiling. They're doing nothing. I just wanted to, these are the two right here. Let me just come in here. We're going to add a folder called decompiles. Decompiles.
Sure.
Like that, and we're going to just drag these down for organizational purposes there. There's that one, and whoops, I dragged the wrong one. I totally did. You go up there. You and you go in there. Okay, let's look at our current socket situation and see how we're getting in there. I think I've modified this modding util file. Yeah, so modding util, just to show you this is where the commands are added. So these are the different commands. Yep. I added one, set time, like there. Set time's got takes an array of strings, and I just say we only need the first one. And then set time comes in here and says, hey, if we can parse that first one as a float, then we go ahead and send it out, and we send a response that says it was successful.
So we should maybe quickly just revise what we've got here. We've got a TaleSpire Explore plugin, and that is acting as a receiving server that is injected into the sort of runtime of TaleSpire.
Right.
We see that because the version number comes up and it declares itself, and yeah, I'm here, don't worry, it's working. And so that's then available to receive commands at an IP address with a port and what have you. And we're then going to have a secondary application, which is our TaleSpire Explore application. That sends messages over TCP/IP, and they are received. Now, we can construct those messages that we then respond to in any way we like. We can do the most simple of things, we can do the most complicated of things. We're going to pick ourselves a standard, we're going to try and stick to it. We're going to, I mean, we did very basic things.
Roy's referring to
very basic things before.
Roy's referring to this part right here. What am I going to do? Am I going to do it as well or a command?
Yeah.
Just stick to it. Roy's subtly saying, "Come on, Mark."
Well,
it's all right.
there is other thing because we did some experimentation in our early stuff yesterday. We did some stuff, so we didn't have the Explore app functioning. We did have the plugin app functioning, and we were sending telnet commands to it, and that was our sort of way of proving the technology worked.
Right.
And it was great because we finally got some communication. It's like, yes. But I don't know how you're intending to go forward with this, because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to have some Stream Deck stuff working with this. So you're going to punch buttons and have things happen as a result.
Yeah.
Now, is the Stream Deck going to talk to an intermediate and then go over?
Everything is the intermediate is going to be our friendly app, D&D control app. This is going to be the intermediate right here. Okay. So I'll be able to do things from here, make calls from our main window file there. And they are going to then communicate and move across. So my sense is, by the way, look, if I'm going to be sending data back and forth, and it's JSON, that's going to be a serialization of essentially a DTL, and that means we're going to need to add a new project, a new console library. Not a console, a library, a class library that contains those DTOs at the very least. Okay?
Yes.
In fact, without further ado, I'm going to stop this and create that right now. So let's go over into, where is it? The D&D app right here. And I'm pretty sure we still can't, for whatever reason, I can't add a new solution here, a new project here. I'm pretty sure we've got this disabled.
How can that still be the case?
Let's see. We had to, basically, here we're good. It's and then they're going to go, sucker! We want a class library. I don't see one on screen. Class library. .NET Framework. Nope. Here's my .NET Framework.
.NET Standard is possibly an option.
Do I get an option to say I only want the .NET Framework? It doesn't look like I have there. I'm not sure what .NET Standard is. I'm like, I probably should know that. Class library. Yeah, why did I make me scroll down so far? Anyway, that's what I'm looking for.
That's the one.
All right. And now I'm excited, and why is that disabled? No one knows. It's not because of the name. All right, so that's all right. We got a workaround for it. And the workaround looks like this. And also it's okay anyway, because I want to create a separate solution that kind of holds these, and then I want to add them remotely is kind of what I want to do. So I guess we'll say create a new project. One more time, class library. Let's turn off caps lock, class, lib. What's going on now? Not responsive. .NET Standard was the specification they used to bring full framework and .NET Core and Mono and Xamarin, etc., all together into one room. Oh. Gotcha. Okay. It looks like I'm totally hung here. Visual Studio is not responding at all.
Create new project. The singular most complicated thing we've apparently done on this session.
I can minimize it. Yeah, it didn't like that that happened there.
Wow.
We have got some new technology that's related to a key I pressed when this was up. I think this might be related to new technology I've got loaded on my machine. I don't think it's a Visual Studio issue. Can you
That's
send
an interesting statement. Yeah.
Can you send me a? Oh, did it finally go away? Did it go away? It looks like it may have gone away. It looks like it's gone away. I've got 5 instances of Visual Studio up, by the way. Start it up again, new. Can you send me an email, Roy, that says new tech bug? Reminder about the new tech hang that we saw,
Sure.
so I can try to reproduce it afterwards.
Indeed.
Okay.
Will do.
What am I doing? I'm creating a new project. And, maybe not. No, yeah, there we go. All right, cool. We want to look for the class library. And I want, I'm not happy with these search results. If I type in class library right next to each other, this is a mistake. That's a design mistake. All right, at any rate. Cody Gorilla, how are you doing? That dialog is super buggy. Doing a search for recent project is super, super, super slow and sluggish. And I want to say framework. Can I get any closer? Wait, it's in other results based on your search. Why wouldn't it give me this one first? I don't know. All right, at any rate, class library, .NET framework. Are we going to get anything in here? Mr. Announcer Bot, we can put it over there. The project name is going to be TaleSpire DTOs, TaleSpire Core, like that. So that's where I'm going to put all the stuff that's going to be used both in 2 different places. Place solution project in the same directory. I don't know what this does, to be honest. I really have never. I've been programming in this product for 20 years, and I still end up not liking either. I think I've done it sometimes and not others, and I don't like either result. I think if I don't do this, it creates a separate directory called TaleSpire Core inside of another one called TaleSpire Core. That's what I think happens. I should learn this.
Yeah. So one variation definitely causes you to have a solution folder, and even the first project will be in its own subfolder of that. So if you call it TaleSpire Core, you'll get TaleSpire Core with the SLN file in it, and then another TaleSpire Core with the project file in it.
Yeah.
And of course, when you make new projects, they naturally follow that anyway.
What's interesting is
this is used to say, I'm only ever creating one project, so please just lump it all in the same place.
Yeah. All right, so I've got 6 instances of Visual Studio up and running now, kids, because, that's what we do here. Let's go in here, add existing project. What'd you say? Only 6? Only 6. We're doing good.
Only 6?
No one uses either structure, says Coding Gorilla. Yeah, I kind of I'm always changing the end result on that. It's also weird that they don't let you change they don't let you change the name of the solution, right? If I click that, say that I want them both in the same folder, it doesn't let me rename the solution there. It grays that out. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so I got TaleSpire Core there. Okay, that part is good. I think I want to figure out what I want to do on this other side over here. Over here in all plugins, this started with some source from other devs. And I basically said, let's unload all of these other projects from here. I wonder if I could probably do a save as on my solution. Can I? No, it doesn't look like I can. So I have to move it or something along those lines. Basically, I've got this as a link. This is the one piece that I'm reusing. Maybe I can copy that and paste that in. I just want to separate this a little bit is what I want to do. I don't want to link it. I want to copy it in as real. Okay, well then I guess that means then I can come up here, reload that project, find that's the actual one, copy that one, come down here and hit paste here. Are you gonna like me then? Okay, you couldn't rename. You could offer a
Paste
rename.
it into a subfolder.
I'm gonna just kill this. I'm killing that one more time to try to paste. Paste is gone.
Yeah.
You son of a. Okay.
What?
Well, yours are what? Because the paste was gone, or because of what I said, Rory? That I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like taking out.
It's not like the source of your copy changed.
I know, nothing happened. Okay, so anyway, I'm like, okay, now I can get rid of all these guys. Now, I really want to move this to another place is kind of what I want to do. Where are you located? Well, it's a not bad
Did you
place.
intend to get rid of the plugin project?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I've got this, so this is the only thing that needs to be loads up. It's because I'm using the modding utils, essentially. What, Rory?
I'm just thinking that this is the client, if you like, in the client server part of this. So we've got now we haven't got the server in here to modify to like listen to a message.
Oh, we do. It's inside modding utils. Right in here. There's some call in here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Maybe even has the word server on it. There it is, right here. So this is the server code. I'm sorry. Did you say it was client? I'm not sure if you said that or not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is
the server. This is absolutely what I was referring to. Yep.
Okay, good. So it's there. Start socket server is called from initialize in modding utils. Initialized is called when we go to wake. So because we're using this Bepin plugin architecture, a wake will be called when we start up. And so this is where we put our initialization in here. Notice, look at this. I even had timers try to get the things to start later to keep the problem from happening. We don't need that anymore. We don't need the timer anymore. And ultimately, I'm looking for scene loaded, and I'm skipping all of these because I can't create it during these scenes. It's only when we load the scene after those that I can actually create this. Although this, I would ultimately like to change to its own command. Timer tick is not used anymore. We can get rid of that. What else? This I don't need anymore. It's trying to get in to grab things using reflection. Those were my amateur early attempts at making this work. I think you guys were here for some of those. So basically all we do is we hook in the scene loaded. This is the important part. Then that whole purpose is so that we can create this at the right time. If I change this to a command, we can remove this. Remove scene loaded event when we have the explorer driven by commands. Like that. Okay, so now we have this TaleSpire Explorer. Now, with regards to properties of this, when we build, we put it out in our local folder right here. Okay?
Yeah.
However, and by the way, another piece that was important is every single one of these, if I add a new reference at any time, I have to remember to turn copy local off. Because if it's on, it'll throw the locals in the plugins folder, and then it just takes much longer to start because it's trying to, it's treating all these Unity things as plugins, which they're not. I want to do something else. Build events, post build event command line. I want to copy that star.dll to this folder right here. Roy, remember we were having trouble sharing? I had to create a user with a new name. I couldn't log in under my own name remotely. So that's what I had to do right there.
Okay.
So at any rate, okay, so there's I'm going to take that, copy that. Let's see if that's going to work. There /star.dll. And that will now, when we build, hopefully put the new one in that folder. But
Is that your actual plugin destination?
It's not. It's that right there.
There we go.
Yeah, Rory, this is why you're also known in the business as the best. Okay, I think that's going to work. So, I'm not
that annoying guy.
I'm not an expert, but let's save that. Let's see if it works. So I want to get to, so here I am. This date and time is 4/27. Today is the 28th. All right, so let's come in here and do a build and see if that changes. We're looking for that to change. Build's been canceled.
You running local TaleSpire? Is it
No.
in memory already?
The command exited with code 1, meaning the command failed. I am going to... Oh, you know why? Because I need quotes.
Do you not need a trailing startup?
I need quotes
that's
here.
true.
This one's got a space in it to there, and probably there wouldn't hurt as well. Let's do that and build again. That seems to work. And look, the date is 28.
Good.
See that, kids?
Winning.
That's called winning. That worked. Nice coding gorilla, helping me with the scenes, the scene switching. I appreciate that. Okay, so that worked. That was awesome. Okay, so that means that now is going over in the other side. Now this is not going to work locally because of. Hold on. Where is it?
Yeah, the code is pretty much one machine or the other, isn't it? Because it's binding
Yeah, this is the
to
address
an
of the
IP
other
address.
machine. So it's only going to work on that machine now.
Yeah.
Okay, also we need to kind of now look at how we're going to send that code over. It just occurred to me, all those plugins I unloaded, one of those had that sample code for sending the code over, I think. I think I showed it to you yesterday, as I recall. And did we make a copy of
Maybe.
it? Hold on. I've got how many? One of my instances of Visual Studio's got to be able to help me. We created this, I think, yesterday. This sender test to send a message over to it. That's what we did. Let's see if it works. I'm going to switch over to the other machine here. Let's go to. Let's see. TaleSpire's not showing. Is it because I'm on the wrong screen? What's happening? Oh, because I'm not running the D&D app. I need the D&D app running to be able to make my changes. Okay. Well, I think I can run it. Maybe I'll run it just standalone. Okay, so while that starts up, I'm going to start up TaleSpire on the second machine. Both of these things will probably start about the same time, so I'll be able to switch over. And you'll be able to see it start up. Okay. And now let's try it. All right, there we go. So that's the second machine. Now I've got both machines up. Let's hide the scroll. TaleSpire's on the left. We're going to say, so we're getting those events are coming in that we talked about. We should be loaded up. We'll just verify that as well. And when this shows, there it is, we should see the Form Explorer that I created. So there's that Form Explorer coming up right there. So those are those events.
Cool.
And now what I want to do is test out the send command, the sender test, because I think we got this working the last time. We send a simple command over and we get some indication that it comes across. I don't exactly remember what that is. So let's just go through this and refresh our, there's the connect, there's the encoding, the byte sent. Message is equal to, I'm not understanding. Oh, message are in bytes, I see.
We were sending an X message before.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, got it. It's available. And there we go. We got the data back, I think. And there's the data error. The given key was not present. That's actually totally cool. That indicates we're talking. And so over here on this machine, we get this error right here that says given key was not present. Okay.
Effectively, we looked for X in our dictionary of commands, and since it wasn't there, we got the natural error. But we got the error transmitted back over the wire to our client, and everything's good.
Yeah. So now let's let's send the command over and let's change it to set time, I think, and set the time to, I don't know, 0, which I think is 6 p.m.
Yes.
Like that. And let's run it again. Let's
Okay.
get both views up here so we can see. Let's clear this.
So we're going to expect this to go quite dark relative to its current time.
Yeah, I think it'll go dark, and I think the shadows will change. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. Let's get some shadows here more on screen. So there you can see the shadow right there. And let's run it and see if we got that right. I may not be remembering that command correctly. We might want to double check that. That's over in this instance of Visual Studio.
You've got a decompile folder, I think.
No, it's just in the commands. It's inside here. It's right in here. It is set time. That's it. So it's expecting that one float to be passed to it. Okay, so let's go back over here and run it. Nice. So there it is.
That seems to be successful.
The app runs, sets the time, and we didn't get, let's see what we got back from it. The data back is, it says error message null, set time successful. Okay, cool. So that's the data that comes back.
Excellent.
I love it. And run, and then we're shutting down the socket and we close. So basically the mechanism here is we create and open every time we want to send a message. I don't know enough about sockets to know if this is the right way to do it or not. I know pretty much nothing about them, to be fair. So that's what we're doing, and that's what
I think this is a fairly safe way of doing it.
Yeah, it does feel safe.
I think we've got to argue that we open up, we send a message, we close down once we receive a response. It's kind of like running a web browser. So you send a request, you get your response, and we're not going to talk until we have another request.
Yeah. And so I think that's it. I think that we are, so there's our sending. And it has the ability to send commands with some sort of parameter. So now what I think I want to do is take this and this, and I want to, essentially I think I'm going to copy them, and we're going to move that. We're going to put those into something over here in my D&D app. So in the D&D app, I feel like we're creating a new project again.
Sure.
Or should I put it down in the core? I was going to put only the DTOs here. But it's occurring to me now, I could go ahead and throw this down here. Right here. We need a class, sorry, hold on.
Janisco 7, where are you? We need your help!
Janisco 7, where are you?
Oh, no.
This guy. That guy, I don't want that bug here.
Here, right now.
Nothing but the highest quality special effects on this show for you.
Oh, yeah.
TaleSpire. Here, I'll show you what TaleSpire is. Can I switch over to it?
Yeah.
Switching isn't working. Why is that not working?
So to give you a little bit of a description,
I know why.
TaleSpire is a utility. Well, it's a game. It's in Steam. You buy it on Steam. I think it was a Kickstarter before then, and you run it up, and it allows you to construct. It's like a world builder, and the idea is to aid people in their Dungeons and Dragons kind of scenario. So you can build castles or landscapes, but you can also interact with this in the sense of you can place characters, and it will take commands to move those characters around and stuff. And what's really interesting from our perspective is that there is the plan, at least, to have an API and a set of a set of modding APIs available. The thing is that they're in early access right now, so that kind of stuff is rather subject to change. There's not a lot of documentation on it. And so what Mark's been doing is he's been reflecting over assemblies and trying to find ways to dig in. There were some examples online, but they're kind of out of date now. So we're sort of having to, I don't know, sleuth our way through this to try and figure out a way of interacting. What we'd love to do is to start triggering our own effects next to the characters when they cast spells and so forth. And since this is a Unity-based system, and Mark knows a little bit about Unity, certainly from his Kids Code part of this show, it'll be very interesting to see just how we can combine the two, making derivative effects in parallel with their own effects, that effectively produce almost anything we need to in theory.
Yeah.
So we're just going to see how far we can push it.
What's interesting is show relation effect. Oh, there it is. Now it's working. There you go. Looked like it wasn't working at first when I was hitting that. Maybe it was because I was just hitting.
So Mark's got his own little app there, which is triggering the specific effects in game. You see, there's one there to fire missiles from one character to another, and that's. I mean, whilst that is potentially possible from within TaleSpire, we can now, if you can imagine that happening as a result of somebody casting a spell on Dragon Humpers. Right? So we're going to have almost not just the surrounds that we've got now, but actual visualization of what's happening in game, courtesy of this engine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool. Okay, so we now have communication that in both directions is what we have. I'm going to create. So back over to here, I'm going to create a class called. Maybe TaleSpire server.
Okay.
Oh wait, this is TaleSpire client. And because I copied that to clipboard. Do I have a clipboard history here? I don't. All right, fine, I'll get it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get my usings in. All right, cool. So we've got the TaleSpire client call send message. Or should I call it the server? Even though this is the client, it like talks to the server, right?
So whichever one it is initiating the communication is the client. And whichever one is listening for commands coming in is the server.
No, I know that, but
if you like
But I understand that this is the client. But I'm thinking about the code being TaleSpire server.send message, indicating I'm speaking to the server. Does that make sense? It sounds like that's not a good idea, so we'll go ahead and just keep it at TaleSpire client.
If you wanted a server in there, I'd have it be the TaleSpire client, and then it would be send message to server.
There you go. I love that. This is why you're here, Rory. Keep me from going crazy, man. Okay, so good. We've now got send message to server. TaleSpire core is here. Let's add a reference to it from here. Add a reference to TaleSpire core. Okay. And now let's see if we can set the time remotely. That's what we want to do. So let's go into wherever we change the time. Where are we changing the time? Interestingly, I've got this clock DTO right here above Fred's head. Fred's good with that, I think. Where do we send this out? Update clock. Now, update clock. I want to see. I want to only. I don't want to make these calls every time we update the clock, every second, right? For updating sun position,
No.
I want to essentially store the last time we updated the clock versus the current time with regards to its sun position. And if it's more than an hour off, I think I want to update it. So I would do essentially,
Sure.
360 degrees divided by 24. That many degree update changes is what I would do. Or maybe I would decide, let's do this at the very least. Let's figure out first where time into today is there. And is that... Okay, so that's just the time into today. That's one of the things I want. And then I want to say, let's do this. Dot total hours. And last hour updated equals this. Well, only if we actually update the hours. So what we need to do is say, we need first to have a check. Let's declare this. Okay, and let's check to see this. Hey, if total hours minus last hour updated, it's kind of the equation I think we want. I can just get that selected. Okay, if one minus the other, and I think I want to do math.abs of that. Grover. Hey, Oscar. Oh, look out. Look out, guys. Look out. It's a mess. Groversaurus has got some superpowers. If that right there is greater than 0.3, I'm going to actually go with 20 minutes. If that's the case,
Okay.
then I'm going to say set this time. Then I'm going to call into TaleSpire core.TaleSpire client.send message to server, and we're going to send in set time. And then now we've got to figure out what this number is, the normalized time. I think we're going to have to, I'm going to call a separate method called, let's put it in TaleSpire core, to normalized time, hours to normalized time.
Yeah.
And I'll just throw that at it right there. So that's going to be a number between 0 and 24, I believe. Let's go do this.
So we're going to scale
All right.
0 to 24 into 0 to 1. Is that right?
Yes. That's exactly what we're going to do. Why don't I get a declare in there? That's kind of upsetting to me. Let's go into...
You're trying to put a method into a namespace.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Utils. I don't know if I want to keep throwing TaleSpire on the top of everything. Is what I think I want to do. But let's see if I can declare that class. So declare this class. Got something for me?
Evening, Early Dev. How's it going?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, Surly Dev. We're actually making progress to generate that type. Then now next to come over and declare this. Declare method. There we go. All right, so TaleSpire core utils, hours to normalize time. So the problem here, Rory, though, is that their 0 is at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
I think PM.
Oh, so we have to shift it as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, wait, are you making me think about this? You know, it's like that a little bit. Like,
Well, that's why we want this utility method, right? We want to think about it for this much time and never have to do that again.
I don't get paid to think. So basically, 0 and 1 are essentially 6 p.m. is the problem. So what I guess the first thing is easy. The first thing is divide it by 24. And then if it's 0, which we would normally say is midnight, that's what we should say, right? Total hours since midnight.
Mm-hmm.
0, well, I guess we subtract, jeez.
We could do a translation as if it was 0 through 1 for midnight to midnight, and then we could subtract 0.25, or is it add? just to shift it after the fact. So we change the scale first, and then offset.
Subtract by 0. Let's try it. So we'll go ahead and see, we'll come in here and say return what? Why did you get this as a string array? I know why. We're going to change it to a float. To normalized time. Let's rename this with a D at the end. Normalized time. So I think the answer is it's equal to this divided by 24. But then you think it's that plus 0.25?
My brain isn't letting me figure this out. It's either plus 0.25 or because we're going to have gone to a thing. Let's say we have 0 come in, right? 0 will translate to 0, and then we need to add 0.25, which will bring it to their midnight.
Right. The problem is now
the problem
is if it's over 1.
We've got to have it wrap as well, don't we?
Yeah. So we have to kind of that. Now I'm with you. If you're going to add 0.25, then I'm going to wrap it, and we're okay. So yeah. So let's declare local. We're going to say the normalized time. Why would you guys do this? Why would you make 6 o'clock 0? I don't understand, but that's what it seems to be based on what I've looked at. Okay. So normalized time is that. Then we want to say, hey, if normalized time is greater than 1.
The extreme version of this, we'll have had 24 come in. That'll have been divided by 24. It will result in a 1. We'll have added our 0.25. Now we'll have 1.25. So we need to subtract 1 from it, which is what you've done. And we're golden?
Yeah, pretty much. Just need a float here. I need a float there. What is it? Total hours. This needs to be a float.
I get the feeling as I was working that out in my head, you'd already got it and the code was already sat there. That's very good.
You know what? It's going to take a double in here. I'm going to do that, and we'll do this. We'll do that just to make it those all doubles, but then we're going to cast this whole thing as a float, and I think I have to select that and do that. And there we go. So we'll take a double in, we'll return it to a float, and then this guy here, this needs to be part. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rename this one right here. I'm not liking it, but I just for readability of the code here. So I've got like TaleSpire stuff, TaleSpire utils, TaleSpire client, all of that. Now this needs a, let's declare an overload for this. So if we get a float data in here like this, or I'm sorry, it's called data, I guess, or number, like that. This is going to be the command still. Then I want to just call send message to server command, and then I want to create a new string array that includes only the num.toString on that, like that, just so that I can have calling code that's nicer to use. If I want to send just a single command and a number, it looks like I need to return that. Okay, so now I've got send message to server. Set time. That might work. Wouldn't that be sweet? Let's run.
I think that'd be great, wouldn't it? You're now going to have total control over the day-night cycle of TaleSpire with existing command set.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Kind of cool about this is I've got TaleSpire running on the second machine still. Here you can see it right there, right? We haven't restarted that at all, right? If we're able to keep that running and then, do this work over here for a while, we can maybe get, more done because shutting down TaleSpire and restarting is like 2 minutes. It's a 2-minute penalty. We're up now. The clock is moving, but I didn't see anything happen over there. Let's add a long rest. See what happens. It worked.
Ooh.
I think it worked.
That's definitely effective.
The answer is I think it worked. We need to kind of get a sense of where the times are on this here. Can I move this at all? I'm trying to move it. It won't let me. It's got to just be maximized. So unfortunately, you only see a portion of it here, right over here. I'm not able to move this or minimize it. And the part that I want you to see is
Are
slightly
you
off
hoping
the
to
side.
show us the actual time?
Sorry, say that again? Yeah, I wanted to show you the time
Are
indicator
you hoping to
here.
show the actual time?
I was. So we're at 7
Okay.
o'clock. So let's.
Well, I mean, I'm imagining that you can still punch the plus an hour button a few times, and you know you'll see things progress, right?
Yeah, let's try it. Where is it? Add an hour.
It's pretty responsive too. You can see that grow. It's great.
It may have looked more responsive because I was, hitting the keys at a static progression, right? It was like, and so you might have been seeing the other one, but what's interesting is right in this space.
But see, now we're watching the clock modify at the same time, so you literally see the sun rising, and in the corner there, the sun is rising. It's great.
Yeah. All right, let's add 10 minutes. See the jump? There is kind of a jump here, but we can fix that with this. We drop that to 0.1 and we're going to get a finer granularity. Let's do that. Let's change it to a 0.1 and then see if we have smoother motion of the sun when we go by 10 minutes. I'm thinking we can even do. Hold on. That's 0.1 of a. Wait. Total hours. Time into. Right. Total. No, that's the distance between the two. And that's in terms of hours. So 0.1 of an hour is 6 minutes. 6 minutes is still. We're still seeing a jump there. I want to cut that in half. I'm still seeing something that like more of a jump than I want. Let's run it. Let's run it again. Well, the 10 minutes though is going to be the jump no matter what. If I add 1 minute though, yeah, you can kind of see it slowly getting darker. Okay, add an hour. All right. I'm going to call that.
But to some extent, this is all semantics, isn't it? Because we have control, we have direct control over the time in TaleSpire, using no more control than we've used to control our own clock.
Yeah, this is what's exciting.
That's fantastic.
Right? That's what's exciting. All right, next thing I want to do, I want to get, I want to be able to collect the positions of all the characters. That's what I want to do next.
Yeah.
So let's switch back over here. Go to the D&D app. I guess we'll close it down while we're writing this code. Well, wait. No. We don't need to close it down just yet. We need to be able to get the positions.
Okay.
What now? A lot of these don't work because of the changes. I just like get current board. We'll have to kind of tab through these here. That looks like that works. So get current board is going to bring back. Now here's where new custom board info. Where's this guy? Whoops. So see modding utils, see what they're doing? They are creating their own DTOs.
Yeah.
Those need to move, in my opinion, for what we're doing. And I'm basically what I'm doing, look, this came from somebody else's open source. I'm basically gutting the whole thing, right? I was like kind of waiting for them to make some changes and they weren't catching up at the speed I needed. And now I think I'm deep enough in that I'm just going to start gutting. I'm going to gutting it. So I'm going to take these things that seem to be clearly DTOs, and I'm going to get rid of those, and we're going to add a reference here. Add an existing project reference to TaleSpire Core. Okay. Hey, Jetson! Look out, Jetson, for all those drawings, man! There's too much flying in here. SWAT, that should have worked. I didn't hear anybody get taken down. Okay, so now we've got over here TaleSpire client. Where's my utils? Did it add it in the same file? Did it put it in the wrong place? I have a feeling it didn't put it down here in the core, it looks like. All right, we'll have to go hunt that down. So TaleSpire client, and then I'm just going to paste those in. and then let's start moving those to their own files. Uh-oh. What color is this? What creature stat is this? These might need some Unity references here. Let's go take this one back and see where those pieces are. Yeah, I guess it was here. Oh, look what it did. I did not like that. That's not where I wanted it. See what it did? That was, I wanted to figure out, it should have put it down here. Okay, so, not timeline control, TaleSpire core right here. No, wait, not there yet. All plugins. That's where I wanted this to be. Yeah, I didn't have to move it all anywhere. Here is where it was. Let's go figure out where that is. Unity Engine. Okay, so we need to add a reference to Unity Engine. This we're going to have to copy as well into the end folders. But I think they're maybe already copied because of the DLL extension. I think this is all going to be okay. Let's go and add Unity Engine. Wait, Unity.engine, is that what it is? No. There it is right there, Unity Engine. Okay, so we'll add Unity Engine to it. Creature data, where are you? Here. So we said that was in Unity Engine. Creature stat, where are you? Let's do this. It's not local. Where are you? Is it? It's in Bouncy Rock TaleSpire data model. Data model runtime. Yeah. Okay. Copy local to false here. Did I get the other one? Copy local false for you. And also for you. Okay. Now what do we got? F3. Modding tails. It's something here local. Okay. We're just going to move this as well. F3. Euler. Say text. Fine. I'll do all of those. Custom creature text. Lab data. Good. And I think we need move action as well. We may need player controlled. API response. Yeah. Let's take all of those, actually. So from here to here. All right. Type file. We type to file. Feature board asset. Pretty sure that's over in we're going to need a reference over to our TaleSpire core. Like that. That'll find its way over. All right, that should fix this. Okay. This looks like, let's see, custom creature data, creature stat. I think custom creature data is going to be okay now over here. Creature board asset. That's the piece I need to find. Where's that coming from?
So I was trying to figure out what the sort of hierarchy of objects is within TaleSpire. I got the feeling that they have a slab, which is kind of the equivalent of a tile, a singular location that something can occupy.
It is.
Is the board the sort of container of a set of slabs?
I don't know.
Almost like a room or a world.
I don't know. And to be honest, I almost don't care. I really just need this data where the where that shows where the people are. I really am unlikely to need to be able to build rooms dynamically. But so there's some parts of this where I'm just not caring. But I'm also kind of like, well, let's bring the code across that's kind of working. We'll spend time in this phase. Float 3, what are you? Feels like a Unity thing. Unity.mathematics. So back over here, add reference. The momentum is following. Thanks for that follow, momentum. The momentum. Unity.mathematics right there. There it is right there. Copy local. Want to turn that off. That's important. Let's double check. Everything is copy local is false. Whoops. Thought I might have forgotten one. All right. Copy local false there. Back over here. JSON convert. Put 12.03 in there. Just did it. That should have fixed this problem. Do I need a using? That's probably what's going on. There it is. Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And this is cool because API response is what it's returning. So we're going to be able to talk back and forth between the two. And we can enhance that as we need to. What else do we need here? All right, back to move type to file. Float 3. Let's move it to file first, and then we'll get the right using there. Okay, sweet. Euler, move type to file. Say text data, move type to file. Feature stat. Yeah, I don't really care about them, but I'm going to have them. You know, might as well put them over there. There's the slab data. Custom creature data. That's it. Okay. So now I'm going to create a new folder here called maybe DTOs. That. I'm going to throw all of those into there. Okay, let's see what we can build. Build succeeded. Now, when I build this, that's when I copy. And when the build command on there, whoops. Code clean up. Okay, if I build this, let's just try the build. And then let's go look at TaleSpire folder. Plugins. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. FNX plugins.
It looked like the build failed or was cancelled.
Oh, build has been cancelled. You're right.
User map section open. What does that mean?
I have a suspicion that it's related to...
Oh, is TaleSpire running still?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm at, going at on there. Let me do something. I want to set up some buttons here so it's a little easier. Well, you know what? I think I'm good. Let's go switch over. TaleSpire is still running, so that's what's happening there. Let's close down TaleSpire, and that will probably... What's interesting though is that goes against what our other earlier assertion that seemed to be that that the files were shadow copied because we couldn't debug them. But I also think it's kind of a Unity thing.
Yeah.
Right? There's this kind of, we're in a plugin loaded inside Unity. How do we debug it? I don't have good skills there yet. Or good knowledge. It tells me exactly how to do that. So we're kind of doing a tricky kind of debugging thing where we're, creating tools to let us see inside.
Sure.
Okay. Now let's try to build one more time. Yeah, I think it was able to copy one but not the other. So we ended up seeing two files here. So succeeded, and those look correct right there.
Yeah.
It just switched to 11:33 my time. I suppose if I do a rebuild one more time, we'll see those timestamps update to 11:33. There they are. They just updated. Okay. Sorry, I'm just noticing that's hard to see because I don't have it zoomed in. Right in there. There you can see between the drones.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good stuff.
Now let's, I guess with this loaded, we should make sure everything still works on the TaleSpire side of things. So let's start that up because, I just want to make sure that adding that extra DLL in here isn't going to cause additional problems for the Beppin plugin, system. I don't think it will. Even if it interrogates it, it's only 9K. I think it's, we just zoom right past it. Got our begin right here. Come in there, play. List the effects. There's the effects. Let's grab Magic Missile, paste it in, and show relation effect. There it is right there.
Still working.
Still working. Okay, good. Let's also mess with the time. Here, let me minimize this form right here. We'll mess with the time over on our side. Do we still have it up and running? Looks like we do. So that means I can even go to TaleSpire and start advancing the clock. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So we never got the sync up because we were already kind of in this space where we thought we had synced up to it. And then we closed TaleSpire and then restarted it. What's that, an hour? Hour. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really nice. Really nice. Okay, there's a short rest. Short rest is 2 hours. Long rest. And it's nighttime, right? Cool. Take another long rest. And it's morning. It totally works. It totally works for me. All right, I'm happy about
it's
that.
Great.
Okay, next I want to get all the creature positions on the board. Now, while we're over in TaleSpire, let's go switch over to this. This button here called Load Classes, this is going to load up all the known creatures on the board right now. And that's what's going on. So basically I'm saying, here's the name of the creature. So I've got some out there, I've named a creature Yo-Ho-Ho.
Yep.
Here's one called Fred. So there's Fred. Fred, I think, is on screen. Fred is on screen. He's right over here on the side. Let's just kind of get Fred really, let's zoom in on Fred right there. So there's Fred. Meanwhile, I'm going to add like a couple hours to get the sun up a little bit so it's a little brighter here. And let's a little more so we get the shadows out of Fred. Okay, cool. So now Fred at this point is at 15 is his X. His Y is his altitude, so we don't care about that for now. And his Z is at 95. So let's take Fred and let's move him one square off to the side like that. So right about there. And then let's come back over here into the Form Explorer and remember that he was at 1595.4 and load classes again. And now he's at 15.1. Looks about the same, 94.5. Maybe I only moved him a little bit. Let's keep moving him over in this direction like that. And I'm noticing a little bit of delay. And I think it might be because of this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a load classes again. We should see that change. There it is, 93.3. So you can see what's happening here. His position is changing. What the important information I want to send across is essentially this list of everybody who's here and these numbers right there. Scale is interesting because we have the spell. We worked on the spells. Did you see those visual effects, Roy? We did for enlarge and reduce.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's
That was
cool
good.
is we connect those as well. I think we can probably change the scale of these guys. At any rate,
That'd be nice.
I want to get this data across. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to take this and copy this to clipboard. I really don't need putting on me now.
Incoming.
Consent, I think I was pretty clear about what I needed or did not need. All right.
Hey,
reload.
Pud.
How you doing, Pudding? I'm going to stop debugging. Okay, cool. We got hours to normalize time. That looks like that worked. We want to go, I think, down into the TaleSpire core. And we kind of need a... Oh, it's not here. It's in my all plugins piece over here. We need to add a new command.
You're showing us TaleSpire still, Mark. We need to see your code.
You don't need to see it. I decided that was optional for you. But if you insist,
I see.
and guess what? And guess who can't do it because he shut down his running, my running Dungeon Master app. I'm starting it up again. We'll just look over here for a while. It's fun stuff. Let's shoot some magic missiles. What's interesting is when I set those magic missiles up, they're not actually from Fred's current position. They were just from a hard-coded position, which is where I had him, I think, over here at this hard-coded position. So it wasn't actually, there was nothing really going on there other than specifying those two positions. So
Yeah.
let's see that. This is effective. Let's get a little higher. Camera up. All right. We'll do that. Now that I've got this running over here, I should be able to clear the nameplate. Now hit the button to show you. There we go. So yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons piece also has connections into my OBS streamer. Look at those beautiful curves. I love it. Okay, so now that we're back over...
Speaking of beautiful curves,
Yes?
it's about time I saw my wife today.
All right, fine. All right, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, bud. However, I will be back tomorrow, same time.
Julie Deb, is Carrot in the room? We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to try to break the effects, break through the barriers to do our own custom effects. That's what
Nice.
I'll tell you,
Okay.
my desire is there, Rory. My skill set is, as usual. We're proud of you, Rory. Go get them. Want me to clip that and send it to Mrs. Becker?
Sure,
Absolutely.
yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
Bye. Pudding says Rory is getting some today pudding. Okay. What do I need to do here? It's somewhere over here. Hey. All right, so this over here, interesting, we still got code. There's a lot of broken code here. What I want to do is I want to kind of create, let's go over into my DTOs. Let's go figure out kind of the DTO class that we want to do here. I think we're going to call this character position data, like that. And I think it's still on the clipboard. This is kind of what was coming in here. So at the very least, we need a name, character name. We need an ID as well. And we need the position. And the position I think is going to be a vector 3. Wait, hold on. position. And I think it's a vector 3. No vector 3. Let's try that using Unity Engine. And I think that's all I need. Oh no, wait, I need a flying altitude as well. Because if they're flying, I think that does not change their position, and I need to know where they are. Okay, that's my character position data. Move type to file. I want to get a whole bunch of that and bring it back. Oops, I meant rename file to match type. Character position. And then I think I want maybe a new class called maybe character positions. And then down in here, we're going to have a list of character positions right there. Fine, something like that. All right, this is what I wanted to return. So, inside of here, let's go, I'm going to dock things for just a second here. All right, we need to add a new command. Here we go. Call it get creatures. Really no arguments at all that we need to know about, care about in there. Inside my Form Explorer, it's the code that is inside of here, where I try to get it. I essentially need something like this. Let's look at API response. Yeah. I think I'll put it in that message. That's what I'll do. And then we'll... Okay. Now, in here, I want to create a new character positions. That. Down here, I want to say this dot add, just like characters. Dot add, and I need in my, I just realized I need a constructor in here. That. And then we want to add in here, we want to add a new character position. And we want to initialize some properties inside of there. So let's figure those out. Name is equal to get name. Ooh, hold on. Let's go find get name. That's important. Moving that out of here, and we gotta go, we need that utils file down in here. Okay, now back to the D&D app. I want to go find this piece, this, delete that from there, put that over here, delete this, delete that, oops. Good. Back over here again. Okay, so now we've got TaleSpire utils in there, TaleSpire client. Got some good methods in here. Go back to where we were. Okay, so name is equal to TaleSpire utils.get name of creature asset dot, or just creature asset. We're going to pass in. Okay, good. That's one piece of data we need. Displaced position. Did I guess right? Is that vector 3? Sweet. That's what I want. Position is equal to the placed position. ID. What are you? An NGUID. What's an NGUID? Okay, we're just going to two-string it then. Okay. And we don't need the scale. But we do need the flying altitude, right? Flying altitude is equal to that. That is frightening and amazing at the same time. Do you want to show people what I'm looking at? Yeah. It's not bad. At least you picked a green that wasn't green screen green. You want to show your face too?
Yeah.
If you want to. How you doing?
It's so tight. I'm good. Oh.
Yeah, is it tightening up your face?
Uh-huh.
Like that? Yeah. Yeah. Certainly, I missed that. I would like that effect. Going to build that as a command. I didn't see you say that earlier. All right, flying altitude. We got to go figure that out. I had some code that I think we can figure it out here. Flying altitude is a float. Set it equal to 0, like this, and then we're going to say if creature asset dot flying indicator dot is it enabled? Shoot, I'm not remembering. I did some research elsewhere on this. Can I tap the next reference on this? There it is. Okay, it's simply just that. Okay. Like that. And then I think that's it. So that gets me all of these creatures, and then I want to return, what is it? I think it's a JSON convert dot serialize object. No. Well, yeah, kind of. Here's what I want to do. I want to take the character positions and return that in the message data is what I want to do. We'll put it back in the message data. Coding Gorilla says you can consolidate that using elevation amount greater than 0. So I can do this to that. Because it's not equal to 0. If it was greater than 0, could I still consolidate it? I can. So that's an interesting consolidation. I didn't know that. So if flying indicator is null, this whole thing is just going to return false. Got it. Okay, great. Interesting. Okay. So now what I want to do is I think I want to do this. Return a new API response. So I'm always going to get an API response. It's kind of like a double serialization that's kind of happening. Like that. Also nice new red tones. Coding Monkey is in the house. Okay, so that means I'm going to serialize that object and put it in message. Let's go look at the API response one more time. I don't think I'm going to change this. Or maybe... I'm going to create a static method here. It's going to return a string. Call it good. We're going to have two parameters here, message and data. And I'm going to make it public. And it's going to create a new API response. And it's going to pass in message right there. Then it's going to say API response dot data is equal to data. Like that. I'm going to declare that. Not quite. Hold on. This is going to be an object. I'm going to serialize it here too. JSON convert dot serialize object data, like that. So data is we're going to serialize that. I'm just trying to clean up the client code here so that the client code is much cleaner. So So we're going to just call API response not good. It's going to create a new API response. It's going to set its state to the serialized object. Then it's going to return API response.toString, which is going to serialize kind of one more time. We're going to double serialize that data inside is what we're going to do. Okay, but now we've got this data piece here, which is just much better, right? Something called message. I didn't want to change message from the original because in case we want to ever be compatible with the original, I just want to add this new data. So now we've got this call good here, which means back over here, we can say return API response dot good and pass in only the character positions. Well, I think we need a message too. Sorry, we need a message. So we can say successful. Actually, I may want to change this too. Like I'm really thinking about, shouldn't I just have an enum that says whether it was successful or not? We'll do this for now. Okay, so API response.good. And we might create a new API response.bad as well, but yeah, I think we'll probably end up changing that. But at any rate, there's the API response.good. So for get creatures, get creatures is there. I think we just need to add it on the other side. Let's build this. Let's shut down. I'm going to shut down TaleSpire on the second machine. So that's shutting down. Come over here. Before I build, let's go look at that folder again. Here's the folder. Last date and time was 11:33 on those. Let's rebuild. I think enough time's passed that those have been unloaded. And we should see the times update. Oh, we got a problem here. Build cancel. Get name. It's now in TaleSpire utils. Okay, there's the second one. Okay, good. Rebuild. Should see these update. There we go, cool. They both have updated. Back onto the second machine, restarting TaleSpire. Back over to the D&D app. So we've got that there. Let's do build of that. Let's go into TaleSpire, go in, again, play. Close that down. Now, over here in the main app, I think I want to add a test button out here somewhere for now. Maybe over here. Maybe in this space we'll add a new tab. All right, so we're going to call this TB TaleSpire. that. I want to take it, move it after the play. Let's add a button in here. It's going to be btn get character positions. We do not have an event system here. It's just now occurring to me. We'll have to think about how we're going to do this. But we basically need a way to get TaleSpire events to come back in this direction as well, to go from there to there. So we know about when like a character moves their own playing piece. The player moves their character piece. Okay, get character positions is there. Let's double click it. Why is it like almost? Oh, because I don't have any text in it. Like that. Let's do a max width of 80. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks a little bit better. All right. And the command is get creatures. Declare this. Okay, and this has got to return it. So now get creatures is there. That's going to return a value back. Response. And actually what I really want is I want send message to server to return an API response is what I wanted to do. So I will need to do a JSON deserialize, I think. JSON, where are you? JSON convert. Dot deserialize object. Isn't it there a API response? Message. Yeah, so it's kind of that is what I want to do. I want to return that. And maybe actually let's just convert this one as well. Okay, here's the point where I actually get some data in. Right here, I want to do that. Actually, I want to do this. To API response. That's what I want to do, like that. And the reason why is because I want to have some exception handling inside of here. I think I'm going to do this. That's my error. So we're going to try to deserialize it as an API response. If there's any problem with that, we're going to return the exception, what that is, along with the original data inside of that. Or maybe better to do a message here. Failed to deserialize response. And I want to add one more in here like this. But I want to have error message, and then data. In the order there. Like that. Okay, so there's that constructor, which should go to the one we just did. The error message. In this case, the message, hold on, I've got this. Oh, I understand what's happening. I did reorder parameters and it reordered this one as well. Okay, so we're going to do error messages first, then the message is there, and then the data is last. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so we've got a 2 API response there. And I want to do this. That. Oops. I was doing it had app context for some reason on the clipboard. I meant API response. I want to rename this guy. I'm tired of that. All uppercase there. There we go. Same thing here. Same thing there. Same thing there. Let's declare from exception. Come on. Should make it a default parameter, I think. And then we're going to say if message, if it's null or empty, then we're going to say message is equal to exception. Dot. Okay. So exception is there. Okay. Send message to server. So if everything goes great, we're going to take that data that comes back, deserialize it, and I think we should be good. And if anything else fails, we'll create our own API response. So no matter what, we're going to get an API response and send message to server. Okay. Back here, API response is there. Now what we want to do is look at the data. And in the character positions, we are expecting to, we need to call to JSON convert dot deserialize object, and we're going to pass in our response dot data, and the type we want that to go back to. I'm going to Alt Tab over here and get it faster. That should have fixed it, I think. Shoot, where was I? Modding utils, maybe? Get creatures. Character positions. That's what I'm bringing back, is a character position. Okay. And I think I'm just going to step through this code is what I'm going to do. So let's go, I made a few small changes in here. So I'm going to, and I renamed API response. So I'm going to exit over here and let's switch back over here. We're going to go to all plugins. This is the folder on the other machine here. Date timestamps were about 16 minutes ago. Let's go do a rebuild over here. Okay, 2 succeeded. Timestamps have been updated on the secondary machine. Switch back to the secondary machine over here, and let's start up TaleSpire. Let's go to back here on machine number 1. I'm going to close this app down. That's my machine right there. TaleSpire is still loading up. Let's switch over to on the main machine. Unsaved changes. What's my unsaved changes? I'd love something here to show me what's going on. What are my save as options here? It's in main Windows XAML. Oh, and I had canceled and I'm screwed. Oh, what happened? It did this. What's going on? They're both appearing to be the same to me. I'm going to get rid of this guy right here. I guess it just reloaded or reopened one of them. Yeah, that's not my favorite. Okay, over here, let's start up. Get that thing going. Let's come over here, start this app as well. I think I'm okay. They look really, really cool, these magic effects. We just got to figure out how to do it. This one's beautifully done. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some sort of success tomorrow. Let's see, we running? Where are you? Started up yet? Still looks like it's coming in. Yeah, it's Magic Missile. The particle effects are pretty cool. I don't like the sudden abrupt stop of it. I don't like that at all. I think I'm going to send Bouncy Rock another email. Saying, hey, it's fun. Where are we? Are we started up? Where are we? Okay, the D&D app says it's running. Oh, sometimes we get caught up here in Google Sheets. And I'm not sure why that is. I feel like it's kind of like we're asking too many times or something. I've seen that like not a lot, but sometimes. I'm gonna just shut it down and restart. Let's see if we have better luck this time. Time just changed. That means we just updated the clock on startup. That's a cool sign. That's a really cool sign. Okay, I'm going to click on Get Character Positions here. So let's close down the side to scroll. Hide some of the other stuff that's here. Let's just look only at the character positions here. So I'm mainly interested in Fred. Let's start Fred off, like put him like maybe right there on that kind of intersection there between these two places. And then let's call Get Character Positions. All right, and let's hit F10. Cannot load file or assembly Unity engine core module. Needed for the deserialization. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add it here. Will that be enough? That's needed for that vector 3, I think. Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't know. I'll do it for now, and maybe I'll remove it. It just feels heavy, and it's only needed for that vector 3 that we're using. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's try running it again. It's feeling heavy and expensive. Give it one more shot on this. I don't know. Let's see if I can do this a few more times. What is it looking for? Shared internals module. So I shouldn't have to restart anything or make any changes over on the TaleSpire machine. Hitting get character positions. Hitting S10. There we go, back. Character positions. Count is 0. That's not happy at all for me. What's my response data? Got an error message, is that right or no? Self-referencing loop detected. Where's the self-referencing loop? It's like it's sending the wrong data. Oh, it's in vector 3. Oh, yeah, vector 3 is really expensive. All right, so let's kill this. Let's go. Yeah, let's go fix it. Into character positions. Into character position. You can tell it to just ignore the loop. Yeah, I don't remember how to do that. I don't remember how to do that inside of here. If you know how to do that, tell me, Coding Gorilla. But I remember looking this up, I think, a couple days ago, and it was like, there was a lot of noise in the solution, a lot of solutions that had nothing to do with something I didn't have control of the code for. In other words, inside, I saw solutions where I could put an attribute in, for example. Yeah, I think I'm about to, unless you got something, Coding Gorilla, I'm going to create my own vector 3. Is what I'm going to do. And might as well do a search as well. We're ignoring it. That's what we can do. Yeah, I have to put something in a web API config.cs file, which to me is insane. I only want it just doesn't make sense. I kind of want the error everywhere, but I don't want the error in this particular case. Oh, wait, what you've got? Serialization settings, reference loop handling. Okay, it feels better. Feels like something I can change just on the fly. Problem isn't there in deserialize, it's in serialize. Here. That's better. I like that. It's not formatting, is it? Deserialized call. Got 2 of 8 here. There it is. And this is probably JSON serializer settings, right? Serializer settings. Gotta create a new one. Different overload. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Serialization settings. Where does that come from? Do I have at least? Can I get that? That's not going to be. That doesn't look right to me. But let's see what we've got in terms of the overload. JSON serializer settings. Okay, that looks good. No, that's the one we saw before that you said was a different overload. Maybe it's a new thing I've got to create. Yeah, they're all the same JSON serializer settings. What if I did this? New JSON serializer settings. What properties do I have inside of that? Do I have reference loop handling in that? I do. Wow. All right. That's the line of code we need. It looks like. Okay, so let's go rebuild that. We're going to need to close down TaleSpire. Rebuild. Look for the timestamp update. Oh, we got a problem. Can't copy. Try again. Rebuild. 2 succeeded. Timestamp update is successful. Good. Come back over here. Run. Start up TaleSpire. We're out of sync, says Coding Gorilla. Yeah, it looks like we're out of sync a little bit. Okay, thanks for your help. I got it. Okay, that's loading up. Got the button right there. Let's close this down. Okay, we're looking for Fred. Get the character positions here. Let's hit F10. Character positions, that came back nice and quickly. Still 0. It's my response data here. So checking that, I think is what I should have been doing. Come on. Data looked good, actually. That looks, holy cow. Vector 3 is insane in terms of what it's sending back to us. It looks like I've got normalized square magnitude. That's insane. I don't need that at all. We're definitely gonna change that. What's my error though? What happened here? Why didn't this deserialize? It doesn't look right. The data looks like a serialization of the entire my fault. Hold on. The response is always an API response, isn't it? Oh wait, send message to server. Response data. This data looks wrong to me. We're sending the wrong data over is what it looks like, I think. Let's go examine that. I guess I can continue to run here. Let's go figure out what's wrong over there. We called good, setting character positions. I don't understand that. That looks like it should work. If I'm passing in character positions here, it's an array. Good should take that data, serialize it, and assign it to the data of the API response. Then we simply call API dot, wait, string on that, get creatures. Yeah. That command, oh, wait. I think we are doing this twice. I think what's happening is this is being called through the list of commands. Execute command returns that. Command result.
Exactly.
So it's not what I was remembering. That's not what I'm expecting there. So there's no serialization at all that happens here. What's load board do? Turn load board here. Yeah, that's also creating an API response .toString. So this creates an API response, sends it to string. The data here is the data we pass in good. So it should be totally serialized and assigned to that API response's data. That looks really good to me. Let's look at it again. So here's the response. Yeah, this should not have the word data in it. This data is an API response, not the character positions. Why is that the case? Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me unless I'm working with a version that doesn't, like the code doesn't match the code we're looking at. That's like, it seems like a possibility. All right, here's what I think I'm gonna do. I hate this. But I just want to see what the data is coming in. Like that, and let's execute this line of code. That one. Actually, why can't it grab that one? Set next statement to here. That's what I want it to do. There it is. F10. Be able to define a constructor for the type API of response. Use a default constructor. Okay. Kind of blocking me there. Here's the problem in this space. This is what I was thinking, where I was thinking the problem was. I was thinking it was in this space here. That looks good. We're really looking for a second serialization call. All right, well, if I'm going to try this trick, I'm going to need at least have a constructor here. Like that just allows it to build itself. Let's close down TaleSpire. Shutting that down on the second machine. Just going to rebuild over here. Like needed more time to shut it down. Okay, there we go. 2 succeeded. New timestamps. It's not making sense to me. Is the server returning an API response? Yeah, let's take a look at it. It does look like that. It's a response of a response. We'll look at that a little more clearly. So basically, here's what happened. Kit creatures is a command. The commands are executed. Execute command right here. So I'm calling invoke, passing in the parameters for the command. So this is execute command is simply returning the result of the invoke call on it. That's what's happening there. So whatever that command returns, execute command is returning that. That's in here, just going straight to socket send. So there's no conversion there. And that's it. So it doesn't look like it, no. And if you look at the actual command, get creatures, it is creating an API response right there through the call of good. So good comes in here, we pass it this data. The call to good comes in, we look at it one more time, it looks good to me, creates a new one, passing in message, then assigning manually data, and what it's doing there is it's serializing the data that's coming in. You know what, it actually, now that I'm thinking about it though, I really don't need to do this because data here is a string, but if I change data to an object, actually, I'm a much bigger fan of this, I think. Let's change object to a data, and here, because we know we're going to serialize the whole thing anyway, So we're just going to do that. Okay, so this is, I think, cleaner. Yeah, that goes better. Okay, so we've done that piece. Let's go look and see what impact this is going to have. Just calling this. Change this to an object. Change this to an object. So I'm calling this. I feel like somewhere in here we're going to find it. Here. Well, no, we looked at that. That should be good. Because that object data is coming in. Okay, wait. This one, no, has to go back to a string. This is a string. Oh, I think I might know what's happening here. I think what's happening is this. Is our deserialized object was throwing an exception, and we weren't looking at that additional data in the error message there. And then it was reserializing itself in its own data. I'm pretty sure that exception might have been caused by it not having this right here. I think that's what was happening. Okay, at least now things are starting to make a little more sense. Okay, one more time, let's rebuild. Let's see, wait, do I need to double check on the data? Who's sending the data out? Who else is touching this? Okay, that looks good there. Let's switch over here and go find data in the same place. Okay, we're still running. Close it down. Here, we just want this. If this is an API response, nope. If it's a character positions, then we should be able to get down in here. And that kind of simplifies things as well. I think this has got a shot of working. So back over here, rebuild these. There's the update to the date timestamps. Over here, we're going to run machine number 2. We're starting up TaleSpire. So we don't want to call to response on the receiving side, right? That would create the API response of an API response. I need to double check. I'm not sure where you're talking about right now, Coding Gorilla. Let's get things up and running and take a look at it. And then if we solve an issue, we'll go ahead and take a look at this. And is this maybe where we are? So we do not want to call to response. I think this is kind of where you're thinking on the receiving side. So there's the data, and I definitely want to call to API response on that. Let's step into that. Serialize that, no exceptions. Okay, good. I'm just going to keep hitting run. And I want to get to this TaleSpire starting up over here. Okay, TaleSpire, kid character positions. Do I not have a breakpoint anymore? Might be my problem. Ooh, that's not good. What's my response? Data's null. Self-referencing loop detected for property. Thought we fixed that. Somewhere we've got serialization somewhere. Let's go find its serialization. I think we're gonna have to close this down. Pretty sure we're gonna need a restart. Yeah, I need it here. Is it serializer? Do some serializer settings. And it was ignore something? No. Scrolling up in the chat. Coding Gorilla. Reference loop handling. I'm going to do that, and I really, you know, my big to-do here is to create my own vector DTO. Is there any other called serialized object over here? That's the only one. Just double check that. We do search for everything. What's F3? It's a float 3. Oh, that's what they built for it. Okay. You know what? While we're sitting here, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna change this, turn this to an F3, like that. That's going to solve the self-referencing problem. Switch back over here. Looks like we're going to be good there. Right. Build the plugins. That's current timestamp, and run here. Kickin Ass says you can also set the static JSON convert.default settings at startup if you can. Yeah, I don't think I'm wanting to do that. I'm a little. Okay. Put this here. TaleSpire. Grab that. Play. Good character positions. Guess who wants this to work right now? I'm ready. I'm ready for this to work. What do we got? Data. Data doesn't look good. Does not look good to me. Message says success, though. Data doesn't look good. Got two of those. If that's true, it's not. I think data, what is, I don't even understand what data is here. Let's go do a quick watch on this thing. It appears like it didn't get deserialized, or it got serialized twice and deserialized once. It's kind of like what we were seeing before. Yeah, it specifically looks like, because we get the API response back, and send message to server, send message to server. Is my problem here? Let's take a look at that. So the data that's coming in, yeah, I'm calling deserialized object on it, getting an API response. It works. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a problem on the sending side. And now I gotta go look at this. I'm sorry, the receiving side. The receiving side looks good. And we've looked at this like several times. So there's one last time. This character position is coming in. This is an actual object, character positions, which is what I'm expecting. Good. New API response. API response just assigns that. That's fine. Now we just simply assign data, got an object, and then we return API response got toString, which basically says, sure, let's serialize this object and return it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the problem. Let me bump that font size up here, so it's a little easier to read this code over here. Yeah, it's eluding me. It's totally eluding me. Back in here, get character positions again. Get the response here. Coming back. Response. Let's do this. Quick watch here. Okay. Message is success. There's no error message. The data is here. Do I have a way of looking at the data? I don't have a viewer here, which is kind of interesting. Let's bring a notepad, pop it in there. So yeah, it's looking. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a different kind of thing, like a serialization error here. Etc., etc., etc. I just realized it's funny I had to do this. And so I guess when I was looking at this before, I thought, okay, it's doubly serialized. But now I'm like, now I'm thinking, no, I think that's good. I think that's one. Yeah, I think it's good. So why, then the question is, so if the data looks good, why isn't, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. It's a J object. Yeah, which is JSON, that's parse version of a JSON. Yeah, the question is, why didn't it get parsed out in this call right here? Right, in this call, what, send message to server. You come in here. We get here in this call to API response. This should deserialize it right there. I think if we have a breakpoint here, we look at it, we're going to see the data is serialized twice, is what we're going to see here. Okay, that's just a set time call. You might be getting in that. Let's try one more time to get this. So run, data coming back, data. So that looks to me like that. When that deserializes, oh, it's because it doesn't know what data is that right? We can't deserialize it. That's what my problem is. Okay, I think I'm starting to now understand the problem. The problem is that I just assumed it would deserialize it as an object because it's part of the piece, it's part of the component. Cody really says, I wonder if that's because your data property is JSON itself, so JSON.net sees that and parses it out to a J object. I'm sure that's what it is. That's my problem. So I am going to have to do a second parse on it, is what I'm going to have to do. Does it actually say? I didn't actually see it. Did it say that it was a J object? Let's see if we can get a breakpoint again in here. So let's try changing this around. If it's a J object, let's see if that's the case. Let's just see if it answers yes to that question. Yeah, I think I've seen this once before as well. And we're in. Okay, so if that's the case, now I got to figure out how to get from the J object to, something else. Do we have a to object? And is it sweet enough to do this for me? Like that. of response.data. Or no, I don't need to call anything on that. It's just that. And all right, let's see if that works. Could not load file or some of unity.mathematics. Why would you need that? You don't need Unity Mathematics. Or is it F for F3? It might be for F3. It's probably that. No, that's in TaleSpire Core. Why do you need Unity Mathematics to deserialize this? It's a list of character positions. Unless for some reason it thought vector 3 was still out there, but I don't see that. This kind of feels like it would be a build error or something. That doesn't make sense. I can add it, but I'm just feeling I shouldn't need to at all. Let's double check over here. Check the positions. It's still using F3. It's using F3 right there. Okay, I can add Unity Mathematics. Doesn't make sense to me at all, but I can do it. Not liking that one either. It feels like we've built and rebuilt. I haven't tried like a clean. Well, I kind of feel like I want to do that before I go add Unity.mathematics. I also want to remove actually the other Unity pieces from here. I know, some people may be thinking, you're going the wrong way, Mark, on this, but I'm like, I'm just not trusting it. Should not be required from my perspective. And so therefore I'm kind of forcing it to be where I want it to be. We may not have rebuilt from here. I wonder if that's related to it. Let's first start here. Rebuild solution. There we go. Updated timestamps on both of those. Back over here, let's rebuild this. I bet that's my problem. I'm going to throw a clean at it, followed by a rebuild of that guy. Just to force it. I want it, double checking DTOs, character position, uses F3, it's right there. Good. Back over here on the main app, let's run it again. So essentially no code changes, just a clean. Might as well throw one at this as well. I cleaned for a long time. Here comes the run. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to work. Maybe it uses that to do float.parse? No way, it's Unity. Why would it use Unity Mathematics to do that? I just don't see that. Okay, starting up TaleSpire on that machine over there. Tony Gorilla, thanks for your help on this, by the way. Figuring this out. Yeah, I've seen this job like months ago, once. Things are starting up. I'm not going to call get character position, so I actually have a board open with characters on it. Didn't catch Unity part of it. Yeah, no worries. Okay, bring that down. Get character positions. Shoot. It really does need it. Wow. I'm like so stunned. I have to look at this one more time. Character positions. It's a list of characters. A character position. Go into character position. It's this plus F3. Oh wait, I know what it is. F3 is declared here, which uses Unity mathematics. It needs it for the float 3. That's my problem. Now it makes sense. Okay, getting closer. Exit that to desktop. Getting closer. Okay, that's exiting. Let's close this down as well. Stop you debugging. Okay, that's it. Fair, fine, I'll do that. Or alternatively, do I have a tab? Nobody's using this right now, though. Guess who's going to comment that one out? And see if that impacts this build at all. Nope, it does impact it. Okay, fine. All right, fine. Well, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm also going to do one like this, a vector 3. Like that. So we're going to need Unity Engine and Unity Engine dot. We're going to need those two references to add them here. I'm okay with those now. Or maybe not, actually. Hold on, let's stop a second. It's really, this impacts deserialization. And it's kind of like, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I want to do it, is what I think I don't want to do. So I'm going to actually kill these both. And let's go back over to where we have the problem here. And we're going to say slab size dot X, slab size dot Y, and slab size, whoops, and slab size dot Z. Like that. Okay, and does that, let's go back over to F3 again. Does it break anything else in here? Doesn't break anything else. So guess who's killing those two? Get rid of those, might as well do that too. I got a nice clean F3 that's not going to cause problems on serialization. Okay, double check to make sure we've got new timestamps. We do. Switching back over here to the D&D app. Hitting run. Holy cow. That took some time. Coding Gorilla says the serialization might have type references embedded in the JSON. You can turn that off too. That's interesting. You know, I did not know. This indicates there may be a lot more to learn about serialization that might be useful than I previously believed. All right, what's happening? Machine number 2, startup TaleSpire. Machine number 1, we're running the D&D app, but I'm feeling like we're stuck. Nope, there it is, finally got it. Okay, there we are, hide the scroll, here's the name tag, get ready to quit. Here comes TaleSpire on the second machine. All right, get character positions. Who's ready for this to work? Because I think I am. I'm going to fix somewhere in this. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to embed a toObject from my data. I'm going to get something that data to object. I'm going to put that in API response. So it's just going to essentially do this kind of a call. All right, that looks and smells much better. 14 characters. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. Fungus folk, tall. Fungus folk, tall. Where's Fred? Where are you, Fred? Here's Miles. River. I miss Fred. Nope. Does searching work now? I don't think it does on my version of it. Ooh, it does work. That's sweet. Okay, so there we go. We've got Fred in there with a position. Sweet. 13, 22, and 97. Let's make a change to Fred and get his position again, and let's hope all this works. Let's do two things. Let's make Fred float. Can I do that? Oh, I think I have to right-click on him as a GM and say you're flying. Okay, and now let's set its altitude. So he's at 6.6 feet. Let's move him. I'm clicking to try to move him, but it looks like it just wants to grab the base. I must have to grab the base to move him. I see. Yes, I think I see. There it is. Okay. So we'll move him over here. And he'll be even much further away. Responsiveness seems pretty slow to me here. And I'm suspecting it might be the other app. We'll bring him right over there. All right, and now let's get the character positions again. Step, step, step. Look at the data. Look for Fred. There it is right there. Fred's position is there. Flying altitude is 1.3. And I think if we take 1.3, we saw it over there at 6 point something feet, I thought. 1.3 times 5, because there's 5 feet per tile. 6.5 is what we got. And is that in fact what we're at in terms of the height here? Yeah, 6.6 feet, 6.5. Sweet. So that looks like that's working. Okay, the only thing, the problem I have is I'm noticing, like I say, a performance problem over here, but I'm tracking every event and feeding it out over into this space here. So I'm not sure if that's related to it, but I suspect it's the way I'm listening to things over here that's causing a performance issue. And that when I get rid of this listening piece, everything will be in better shape. Okay, that's it for now. Kids, I'm going to call that a show. And yeah, what do you need, hon? Wallet? Jeez. Jeez. There it is, kids. Oh, she took it. Let's get a raid going. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks, Coding Gorilla. Appreciate that. It's not in meters. It's in whatever units you specify inside of TaleSpire. So TaleSpire allows you to say one tile is equal to 5 feet, for example, which is what we're doing. That's standard D&D, but you can specify whatever you want that to be. Let's do the raid. I'll send you over to Bald Bearded Builder. We haven't raided to him in a while. Have a good time, everybody. Take care. And we'll see you tomorrow.